A defiant kin band marches through blood-stained sands. The foul breath of a monstrous terror thickens the air. Now the flame of an ancient vengeance ignites once more. Here on Mountainside Tabletop.
Welcome to Mountainside Tabletop. We have got our first 40K. Actually, it's not our first. We've got a 40K battle report. And this one, we really mean it. So we've been doing this escalation league, as we've talked about in the past. You could find those videos. And this is our first battle, our first 500 points of our new armies. I'm pretty excited to get into this. This is a game I really like, and I've been desperate to get Brad into it for a couple of years now, and we're finally here. For this escalation challenge, we're doing a few different battle reports. We're going to do one at 500 points, 1,000 points, 1,500, and then, of course, a 2K point game to wrap it all up, which feels so far away at this point. But there are good rule sets for the other point values, but we've never really vibed with Combat Patrol very well, and so we've kind of made our own slightly homebrewed version of how we're going to play 500 points. So we're using one of the Combat Patrol board layouts, but unlike Combat Patrol, we're not using their fixed lists or their fixed stratagems. We're using like the normal rules for our army. And for secondaries, instead of just having one faction-specific one for the whole game, we're going to draw two like you normally would in a game of 40K and then just select one. So each turn, we're going to draw two cards and pick one that we're going to use. Also, we are going to be using the Challenger cards from the new Chapter Approved deck. I think they're cool. And yeah, there's like some rumblings that they could be abused competitively, but we're not that good. So it's fine.
No.
we need everything we can to keep this game as close as possible. So, without any further ado, this is my list. So, I'm playing Tyranids. My Warlord is a Neuro Tyrant. I've got some Neurogons, but I'm not going to attach them because I don't want him to suffer from their low toughness. So, they're going to be on their own scoring points. I've got some Hormigons to be a nightmare for Brad. Barbgons, which I don't love. They're probably not going to be in my main list, but I've got them and I just had to kind of fill out the points for now. And then a Screamer Killer and a unit of Von Ryan's Leapers. You know, obviously, I'm kind of leaning away from the Tyranid guns and leaning into the Tyranid claws because I think that's like the most fun way to play this army for me. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try to just like rip apart the dwarves before they can do anything productive.
Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty much a humongous noob when it comes to big 40K, so I don't really know what's good and what's bad, but I think like overwatching when you have Torrent seems good.
Yeah, definitely.
And your leader has Torrent. And anytime I'm gonna like charge you or like move around in proximity to your leader,
yeah,
I'm just gonna get fried.
Yeah, the Brain Flamer is gonna do a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm really worried about this thing. Also, very cool model, and that adds like a lot of fear points into a unit, I think.
Yeah.
What else can this thing even do?
You know, it's not the biggest melee threat, but against the Hearthkin, I think it's like more than capable of taking out a squad if it has to. And it's got some like synapse nonsense that's going to make your life harder, but yeah.
It has like an invuln too, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to kill. It's going to be annoying. I want it gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm bringing the Short Kings back to Mountainside Tabletop. I've got 500 points of my Leagues of Votann list. Is this good? Is this bad? It's 500 points, so honestly, who really cares? I just picked stuff that I thought looked cool.
Yeah, this is the way.
I got 2 squads of 10 Hearthkin, but I've got 2 Sagittars, and they're letting me split them up into 4 groups of 5. So I'm gonna have like lots of little tiny squads of little tiny like garbage units basically running around trying to do objectives, trying to shoot stuff. I have gunners in the squads and medics to give me feel no pains and stuff. Like, they're not totally garbage, but they're kind of garbage. The Sagittars can do work though, and then my Warlord is my Einharn champion. I think that's how you say that.
Yeah,
my E-champ.
your E-champ, yeah.
Having a naked E-champ I think is pretty bad, but it's 500 points. It is what it is. Once I get my next 500 points, they're going to be leading a squad of 10 Hearthguard, so that won't be bad for long. But in this video, like, she's just going solo. I'm going to try and get some work done, and I think You know, that mass hammer and dealing damage when I charge into you could like chip down the Screamer Killer or even your leader.
Yeah, I don't think I have a single unit that can reliably stand up to a full attack from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really worried about the Hearthkin. You know, they are just biomass to be harvested. So, you know, they've got guns, but you can't shoot once I've charged you. So that's no big deal. The E-Champ, I think, is a big deal. You can very easily take out anything on my team pretty reliably. Maybe not the Screamer Killer, but maybe the Screamer Killer, honestly, if I've lost a couple wounds. So I got to deal with that. You're probably going to hide with it pretty well and be able to like dictate the combat on your terms. But honestly, if I see a chance to just like load a bunch of stuff into it, I'm going to take it because nothing else really worries me. You know, the trucks don't worry me, but they're going to be a pain in my ass. I've got to like crack the pinata open and get the Hearthkin candy out because otherwise they're just going to be like too much damage in Potentia. But, you know, I'm not too worried about them specifically, just the like number of bodies inside.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so before we get on to the rest of the game, just want to take a quick moment to shout out our 1 HP gangsters and mountain goats and all of our patrons. You might be noticing, if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, that we got some new microphones, and we were able to afford these microphones thanks to the generous support of our patrons.
Yeah, with the new season of Kill Team around the corner and recently getting into 40K, we've got a lot of plans to like make some investments and keep improving the way we do things here, and it's totally possible because of their support, so thank you.
Also, before we really get into the like meat and potatoes of this video, I'm a complete noob. Victor's played like a decent amount of 40K, but I'm very green on this, and like, just bear with us. We're probably going to make some mistakes, especially me.
Yeah.
Like, the cognitive load here of playing one of my first games and also filming it all and doing all this stuff is high. Like, this is a casual game.
Yeah.
Right? We're not sweating.
I'm also very bad. So there's that.
We're playing for fun.
Yeah.
Okay? So
he's new and I'm bad. So, you know.
But you can still write hate comments because it helps the algorithm.
Yeah, totally.
So you can still do that, but don't really mean it. Just write them fake.
Yeah.
Fake comments. All right.
So for today's game, we're going to be using the Display of Might Combat Patrol deployment. The primary rule is Purge the Foe, and the mission rule is Lords of War. We roll off, and Brad wins. So I'm going to pick the right side, and then we're going to start setting up our minis.
To start the game, nothing's in Deep Strike, but I have 2 units of 5 Hearthkin on the board, and 2 units of 5 Hearthkin in my Sagittars.
Before we get started, for my detachment rule, I'm picking sustained hits on all infantry.
And I'm going to throw some judgment tokens on Vic's Leapers, Neuro Tyrant, and Screamer Killer.
Next, we roll off to see who goes first. Brad wins, so he's going to do his 6-inch scout move with his trucks and move on to battle round 1.
All right, in Votann Battle Round 1, in my command phase, I have a choice. I draw for secondary, I have Tempting Target or Area Denial, and I'm gonna go with Tempting Target. Vic selects the bottom objective for me to have to score. Now onto my movement phase. First, I'm gonna try and advance with my leader. I only need a 2 to get to where I wanna go, but I do not get a 2. Good first roll. So she'll just move up into the building here, and then some of my infantry will follow as well. Some more Hearthkin are going to move up at the back of the board behind some ruins. And then my Sagittars are going to move. First, this one at the back. And then finally, my other Sagittar is going to move up. Okay, onto the shooting phase. One of my Sagittars actually has a shot onto your Leapers. They have 2 judgment tokens from the pregame, but they have stealth, and Vic plays rapid regeneration for a CP to get a 5-up feel no pain here. So we'll see what I can do. First, I'll fire with the Sagittar missile launcher. That's a pretty great roll. I would kill 2, but those feel no pains come into play, and I just finish off 1 Leaper.
That is so lucky.
Next, I'll shoot with the L7 missile launcher, the focused profile. I'm wounding on 2s with the judgment tokens, but you save it. Then finally, I'll shoot with my twin bolt cannon. Good roll. And the feel no pain doesn't really help you here. You're down to 1 Leaper left with just 2 HP. Got nothing in my charge and fight phases, so that's it for Votann turn 1.
On to my first turn, and I gotta say I'm pretty lucky to not be punished for being so aggressive with the deployment of my Von Ryan's Leapers. I feel fortunate to still have one. So I'm going to pull a couple secondaries, sabotage and bring it down. No question here. I'm taking bring it down every time I see these two. My leapers are going to pretty easily pass their battle shock test because they're within synapse range. And then with my Neurotyrant's ability, I'm going to give the Neurolid tokens to my Von Ryan's leaper and my Hormagaunts. In the movement phase, it goes against everything I want to do with this army, but my leaper is going to advance away just to hide behind this ruin. Then I'm going to advance up the Hormagaunts. They only get a 1 here, but honestly, they'd still need a pretty tragic charge not to get into that bus, so I don't really mind. Now my Screamer Killer is going to move up to start eyeing that other truck. My Neurotyrant's going to move up into hiding, and the Barbgaunts are going to move over to behind this building to start eyeing up some shooting lanes. In my shooting phase, the Screamer Killer is going to take a shot at that truck. I'm not expecting much to happen here, but to take off a few wounds would be nice anyway. So I get a great roll here, but only 1 goes through and Brad saves it. Fortunately, since he was hit, he has to take a battle shock test, and he fails it. This is so lucky because I know he was going to take a shot back at me if he passed this. So once again, I played really aggressively and got away with it.
That is absolutely brutal because I had reactive reprisal all like locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah.
I was so looking forward to it. Nope, can't do it.
Get good. Okay, next I'm going to take a shot with the Barbgaunts. Not expecting much here, and yeah, nothing goes through. But now is my favorite part of the game, the charge phase. The Screamer Killer is going to try to charge the truck, and he makes it. You know, I would have liked a bigger charge to get to the other side of it for some extra movement, but, you know, you can't have everything, I guess. And then the Hormagaunts are going to charge the other truck, and they also make it. And this is a pretty decent charge, which is good, because it means I can really get in there with my pile-in and make Brad's life a bit more difficult. We move on to the fight phase, and my Screamer Killer is going to go first. This is so good. I love this thing. Just one-shot the truck. It's so easy. Unfortunately, Brad passes all the rolls, and all the Hearthkin survive, but truck is gone. Next, my Hormagaunts are going to fight this other truck. I'm going to spend a command point on Predatory Imperative to give them all lethal hits against vehicles, but unfortunately, after all said and done, even with 30 attacks, only 2 are going through to bring the truck down to 7 wounds. Then the truck's going to fight back and just do nothing, which, again, I'm feeling pretty lucky this game.
Damn.
All right, so at the end of battle round 1, I've got 4 points for Bring It Down and 4 points for the primary mission. Fortunately, Brad didn't wipe any units, so he gets 0 for the primary, but 5 points for Tempting Target. So how was your first battle round of 40k?
Felt good.
Yeah.
I got some kills, got some leapers off the board. Does hurt quite a bit, though, to lose a truck so early.
Yeah.
But at least I have these 5 Hearthkin ready to go and shoot some stuff. They have some gunners in there. There's some okay guns.
Definitely.
They can do something. All right, Votann turn 2. I pick my secondaries. I'm choosing between Extend Battle Lines and Cleanse. And I'm going to go with Extend Battle Lines.
Okay, well, since Brad took Extend Battle Lines, I think now is the time to do the Shadow and the Warp. I would love to make it hard for him to control objectives.
Bro. Everything on the board except 1 squad of warriors and my other truck that's still alive just got shook.
That's so good.
That's like almost everything.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's so good.
Dude. All right, in my movement phase, my 1 unshocked group of warriors is going to move onto my home objective. I'm dumb. I should have already been there, but I'm a noob.
Yeah.
Then the warriors that were in the truck that died are just going to move back a bit to make your charges a bit harder. And my E-Champ is going to move toward your Screamer Killer. All right, shooting. First, some warriors are going to shoot into the Screamer Killer. I'll start with one of the squads with the good guns that recently disembarked.
They were forced to disembark.
Well,
yeah.
Counts, right? So first, the missile launcher whiffs, then the auto rifle. 1 plink damage. Another plink damage from some ion blasters. And unfortunately, my Thane is out of range to shoot with his plasma pistol, so they're done. But now I'm going to shoot with my E-Champ. Nothing through. There's a group of warriors on my home objective, and there's just 1 guy poking out from around the corner that can shoot with an ion blaster. And that's 1 more chip damage onto your Screamer Killer from that. Then 1 final squad is shooting into your Screamer Killer. I got 5 ion guns. Just 1 more damage through. But, you know, it's a bunch of chip. Yeah. I brought the Screamer Killer down to 6 HP. All right, next, my 1 remaining truck is going to shoot into all these gaunts. I want to get them out of there so I can, like, move around and disembark my guys. And I have some CP to kill here. I'm going to spend some on Ancestral Sentence to get sustained hits 1. First with the twin bolt cannons, whiff. Then the Sagittar missile launcher. I get a kill from that. And the other missile launcher's a whiff. That was basically a waste of CP though. Sustained hits did nothing. Get on to charges now. This is the big one. My leader is going to charge into the Screamer Killer, easily gets it, and with mass driver accelerators, I get to deal some damage here. I just need a 2-up, and I get it. So I'm dealing D3 damage. Nice, you're just down to 3 health, dude.
That hurts.
Now fighting, I gotta try and finish off the Screamer Killer.
I'm going to spend a CP on Death Frenzy here. Honestly, I wasn't expecting my Screamer Killer to die, because in my brain it should have an invuln save. But here we are, so I'm probably going to die, but I just need a 4-up to really do a lot of damage on my way out.
Okay, well, we do the fight.
5 through. I think I auto-kill you.
What's the AP?
-2.
Oh, you don't kill me. Just have to roll... How many?
-2, 5.
Just gotta roll 5 4s.
Okay.
You've done that!
Yeah, I guess.
2 through, which kills me. Because of D6 plus 1
Yeah,
damage.
so auto-kill you.
Now the
Get a
very...
CP roll. Reroll that one.
No, I'm out of CP.
Oh, okay.
Now the most important roll of the game needs to be a 4-up. Oof.
And you fail, and
Yeah.
you also don't blow up.
Next, my Hormagaunts are going to fight into the truck and get another chip damage through.
Okay, the truck will fight back, and also gets 1 more damage through. Well, at least I got 1 big guy off the board.
Yeah, true. Okay, in my turn 2, I draw Cleanse and Secure No Man's Land. I'm going to pick Secure No Man's Land because I'm already here, and then my Leaper passes the Battle Shock test. In the movement phase, my Neurotyrant and Leaper are both going to menacingly move towards this E-Champ. Hopefully I won't need to charge and fight it, but if I do, I'm confident that the Leaper will be able to do his job here. Then we move on to the shooting phase. First is going to be my Neurotyrant into the E-Champ, 2d6 attacks plus 3 from Lords of War, auto hitting from Torrent, wounding on 5s. Not great here, but fortunately Brad gets a terrible roll, and he's Battle Shock, so we can't even re-roll, and he's dead. And then in the charge phase, my Von Ryan's Leaper is going to have to charge this truck. You know, I don't have a great option here. I moved him out expecting to charge into the E-Champ, and now he's just like hanging out in the wind. So hopefully he can stay alive when this truck fights him, but yeah, that was a blunder. All right, so first, the Leaper's going to fight the truck and get nothing through.
And then the truck's going to fight back against the Leaper. This thing still has a double judgment token on it from the top of the game. I'm hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. I know it's just wheels, but I'm going to spend a CP on a reroll.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. I get to kill.
Yeah, that sucks.
My faction rule lets me get some free CP for killing these guys. I had marked them at the beginning of the game, so that is always nice. Sucks to suck for you.
Yeah, that Leaper's been living on borrowed time anyway, so, you know, it feels right. And then finally, the Gaunts are going to fight the truck again. No big surprise here. No damage through. And then at the end of the turn, Brad's going to get 8 from primary, but nothing from secondary thanks to all that Battle Shock. I'm going to get 4 points for the primary and 5 from Secure No Man's Land.
Things might look bad, but I feel like, you know, your Shadow and Warp is done. Hopefully I can finish off some Hormagaunts, disembark more Hearthkin, and I can like really start to push points. Won't be Battle Shocked anymore, get some secondary points, and gonna draw a Challenger card, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true. It's you're now basically gonna be like gifted points every turn as a Challenger, so who knows? Yeah, like you said, this was my big push, so now I've just gotta hang on for a few more rounds.
Look, hang on 1 second before we move on, because we gotta show off this Skirmish Mat. Check out our affiliate link. Okay, now battle round 3. Battle round 3 starts with the Votann. I draw Sabotage and no prisoners. I'm going no prisoners. I'm also going to draw a challenge card. I'm taking the VP option because I'm so behind, hoping I get some extra points from this. Okay, movement. 1 squad of Hearthkin moves toward the edge of the board to do the Challenger mission and get some points. And then this other squad is going to move up back into this building, so I have a better chance at charging your Gaunts later on. All right, shooting. Some warriors are going to shoot into your Neurotyrant. I'm going to use another CP because I have so many, I couldn't even use any last turn. I have a comms though, so I'm going to roll to see if I get my CP back, and I do, which is great. All right, shooting. My missile launcher gets saved. The auto rifle whiffs. And then finally the ion blasters Also whiff. Then I'll shoot my truck into your gaunts. First with the bolt cannon, it whiffs. Then the Sagittar missile launcher. I get 2 from that, that's good. Then the L7 missile launcher gets another. So you're just down to 5 gaunts. Okay, for charging, some warriors are going to try and charge into these gaunts. I want to get them out of there, but I whiff my charge. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll, and that is also a whiff. Okay, so fighting, I guess.
Since there were no charges, I'm going first here. So the gaunts are first going to go into the truck and get another damage, bringing it down to 5.
Then I'll fight back, I guess. 2 more die, you're down to just 3. Love to see it.
Finally, my turn. So I'm going to pull Tempting Target and Marked for Death. Definitely going to select Marked for Death because I've been having fun killing dwarves. Brad's going to select everything but the one squad out in the open. So obviously, I'm going to select the one thing left and basically automatically score some points for killing it with my Neurotyrant. Then I'm going to give my Neurotyrant Synapse boost to the Hormagaunts and I guess the Neurogons, but nothing really needs it anymore. In the movement phase, the Neurotyrant's just going to menacingly float up here and everyone else is just going to stay where they are for now. In the shooting phase, the Barbgaunts are going to shoot that exposed squad. Brad gets a pretty bad roll, no help from the Field of Pain, and they die. My Neurotyrant didn't even need to do it.
Bro.
And that's the only target, so we're going to move on to the charge phase.
Sad.
So my leader is going to charge into these warriors through the building. Fortunately, they're all close enough to the wall that I can get in here and do some damage. In the fight phase, I'm going to spend 2 command points on Adrenal Surge to make my leader fighting the warriors crit on 5s. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do a lot here. Brad's going to spend 2 CP on rerolls and take no damage. Then he's going to fight back with the 2 warriors in range and do nothing. His truck is going to fight the Gaunts and do nothing. And then my Gaunts are going to fight the truck and do 1 more damage.
I don't want to take that 1 damage because it would make me have to take a battle shock test. So I'm going to CP roll it. Yeah, okay, so I take nothing.
Honestly, you're justified to be afraid of battle shock tests now.
Yeah.
So at the end of the battle round, the score is currently 43-20. I got 8 more from primary and 2 from secondary. Brad got 4 points from the primary and then 3 pity points from his challenger card.
I think I've lost this game. However, I don't think dwarves surrender.
Yeah.
And I think, especially on our first video,
Oh yeah,
I'm not surrendering.
we got to go bitter end on this thing.
I mean, I could get some more kills.
Definitely.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I have guns. It's not like I can't do anything.
Big guns that never tire.
All right, well, yeah, the writing's on the wall, but let's see what I can get done. I'm just going to choose to keep no prisoners. And then for my challenger card, I get focused effort. Is this good? Is this bad? I don't know. Okay, in my movement phase, some of my warriors are going to fall back from engagement range with your Neurotyrant. And then my warriors at the top of the board are going to move over this ruin. And when I do that, Vic decides to overwatch with his Neurotyrant. But only 2 die. That's honestly better than I expected.
Yeah, like I know I'm getting greedy at this point, but I was expecting more than 2 to die.
Then I'll finally disembark with the 5 warriors that were in this second truck.
It took you so long.
Bro, shut up. Okay, shooting phase. These guys that just disembarked are going to shoot the Neurotyrant. But first, grenades. 3 mortals through. You're down to 6. I even get my CP back from the comms. Then I'll spend that CP to get sustained hits again and shoot it. I get 1 damage through from the auto rifle, and then everything else just frickin' whiffs, dude. Oh my god. Okay, another squad of 3 warriors is gonna shoot your leader as well. And do absolutely nothing. And then my truck is gonna also shoot your leader because I want to kill your leader. I've committed so much already. But the bolt cannons whiff. The L7 whiffs. The Sagittar missile, I'll spend a CP to reroll the hit roll. And then spend my last CP on the wound roll. And then you spend your last CP on rerolling the save roll. And then after you're feeling the pain, you only take 1 damage. You're still at 4 health. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's brutal. I will admit.
I'm out of options. My 3 warriors over here are just going to charge into your gaunts and see if I can finish them off, maybe. And then these other warriors are going to charge into your leader. And then the fight phase, I'll start by trying to fight your leader. but nothing goes through. Then these 3 warriors over here are going to fight your gaunts, and also nothing goes through.
Next up, my squad of gaunts is going to fight what's left of these warriors and kill all but one, which is a nice bonus. Then the truck's going to fight the gaunts and whiff, of course. And my leader's going to fight into these warriors and only kill 1. So that brings it over to my turn 4. I'm going to get no prisoners and extend battle lines, and for the first time in my life, I'm not going to choose no prisoners. The gaunts are going to pass their battle shock test, and then I'm going to use a CP on endless multitudes to bring 6 of them back.
Well, is that legal? That can't be allowed, dude. I almost finished them off.
That does feel like cheating, honestly.
Oh my god.
All right, in the movement phase, the Neurogaunts are going to move out towards the truck and the 1 exposed warrior, who they're probably going to charge. And then everyone else stays where they are. So we move on to the shooting phase, and the Neuro Tyrant is going to shoot into the unit he's engaged with and kill everything but the Thane.
Huh.
In the charge phase, the Neurogaunts are going to charge that 1 warrior standing out in the open.
If you're getting charged by Neurogaunts, you know you're screwed, dude.
Yeah, probably. So in the fight phase, the Neurogaunts are going to fight into that 1 warrior and kill him.
Yeah, I guess my Thane will try and fight your leader. I'll just spend a CP here because I can. You take 1 damage. You still have 3 left. Whoop-de-doo.
All right, next my gaunts are going to go into this truck. Nothing through. The truck goes into the gaunts. Nothing through. It's a tale as old as time. And then the Neuro Tyrant is going to fight this Thane and kill him. All right, so the score at the end of turn 4 is pretty brutal. I basically maxed some stuff out, and it's now 63 to 27. But the good news is you get another challenger card at the beginning of the next turn.
You know what? The good news is, I know we said that dwarves don't surrender, but there's a time and a place where it just becomes the best option. Look, we played out Battle Round 5. Basically, I got no kills, scored like a couple more points. The final score was what, like 1 to 1,000,000?
So the final score with the 10 points applied for painting is 80 to 41. I didn't get double what you scored.
I'm pretty sure I still got skunked.
Yeah. I think the Shadow and the Warp did most of the work there, but
I think me being a noob did most of the work
that
there,
helped too.
frankly. But
so if you're new to the channel, we do like a kind of more in-depth breakdown of the game and our thoughts on the game over on our Patreon. So if you'd like to hear Brad's therapy session, hit the link in the description and you can check it out there.
you know, I lost by a lot, but honestly, like I did have a very, very good time.
Yeah.
This is one of the least salty losses I've ever had, I think.
I'm glad to hear it.
I hope this is one of the least salty noob plays Warhammer videos you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check out our Patreon for the behind the scenes. We'll be back more with fun stuff soon. Thanks to our patrons. Thanks to Skirmish Mats. Thanks to
You for watching.
yeah, thanks to you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.